tū mai awa, tū mai maunga, ko koe kai taka ia no tia ea. Au, ko te puari Māori o Wairoa-Waikaremoana, te mihi nei ki ngā kārangaranga, iwi, hapu, whanau, marae, e whai pānga ana ki tēnei rohe a tātai ko Wairoa, tāpoko rau, hōpupu, hōninge matangira. Ko au, ko Richard Niania, te tia mana o te puari Māori o Wairoa-Waikaremoana, me aku iti, me aku rahi, kua pai nei ki raro i te mana o tēnei puari. My name is Richard Niania, and I've been associated with Wairoa-Waikaremoana in a treaty claims context since 2003. Wairoa-Waikaremoana Trust Board lodged a treaty claim in 1997, and that was done by the immediate past chair of the board, the late Rangi Paku, and that was in 1997. By 2003, we had become involved in the Te Tira district inquiry, largely from the fact that Council for Tūhoe had applied to the tribunal to extend the boundaries from the western side of Lake Waikaremoana down to probably just west of Frasertown. And that change in the boundary, what you might say, catapulted the board and another claimant group into the Urewera inquiry. So we spent the years 2003 through 2006 preparing a casebook and giving evidence before the Waitangi Tribunal for the Urewera. And in 2003, at the same time, we were party to some discussions between Wairoa claimant groups around progressing claims here in Wairoa. So we came away from the Urewera inquiry in 2006 with a pretty good understanding of how that process worked, and knew that we'd sort of be of use to the process that was about to unfold in Wairoa. And so we were part, as a board, we were part of the initial core group that got the treaty claims by direct negotiations rather than by tribunal hearing up and running in the Wairoa district, and have been part of the processes for direct negotiations since they began here in Wairoa. Well, certainly, firstly, from a personal perspective, I have this belief that the treaty settlement money that is due to us isn't, it doesn't belong to anybody who's living at this moment, and I think it's a really important point to make about how those people who were wronged all that time ago, we need to preserve that sort of, the fact that they have were the victims of gross injustice, and so that the at this point in time, I have this view that, you know, sort of it doesn't belong to me, but it belongs to those people who are coming behind me. And what I'm referring to is my children, my mokopuna, my cousin's children, his mokopuna, and everybody else who has a connection to this district. That's what I reckon. I think this is an absolutely marvellous opportunity for people who have any kind of affiliation to Wairoa, whether it's at whanau level, whether at marae level, whether it's whatever level. It's an absolutely marvellous opportunity to be able to reconnect to those beginnings that we all share. And I think that the processes that we're about to get in lend themselves for that reconnection to be happening on a scale we've never seen before. I'd first start with the idea that in terms of the board's aspirations for the future of the district, the board was established to look after the interests of Ngāti Kahungunu owners in the bed of Lake Waikaremoana. And certainly in looking around, there have been in other examples where trust boards are involved in the in treaty settlements where there's a bit of a sort of like a morphing happening, so that the trust board in those examples ends up becoming the post-settlement entity. In this case, that is not the intention or the aspiration of Wairoa-Waikaremoana, because its primary purpose is to maintain the interests of Ngāti Kahungunu owners in the bed of Lake Waikaremoana. And for that reason, the board sees itself as having a responsibility to those descendants who are in effect the beneficiaries of the board. So those beneficiaries are, there are two types. There are those that reside in Wairoa, and there are those that whakapapa to a Ngāti Kahungunu owner in Lake Waikaremoana but can live anywhere. And so we have, like I was saying, it's an absolutely marvellous opportunity to draw those threads of whakapapa back together so that we're able to know one another when we pass one another in the street. Tautoko hia, manakitia, tēnei take a tātou. Mō ngā tamariki mokopuna kai te kāre anō kia whānau mai. Ko rātou ngā mea tēnō ngā kaunui te ana au kia rātou. The yet unborn. And the potential and the opportunities that it represents for future generations. Yeah.